All right, man. So how you been since the Contender Series?
I've been good, just busy. I started back up I don't know if you know, I work in a school as well. So
Right.
I started back up at that and just busy, man, because, we started a new math program, a new math curriculum.
Uh-huh.
So just getting into that and just getting the kids moving and grooving and setting the routines and procedures. So yeah, man, just busy right now. But other than that, I'm good, man. I'm loving life, happy.
Yeah. How was it fighting like on the Contender Series? Were you nervous going into it?
No, man, I wasn't nervous at all, to be honest. It was awesome fighting on the Contender Series. I felt like I was supposed to be there. I always have this mindset of I'm supposed to be here. You know, um, I I wasn't nervous. I just felt like I belonged there. You know,
How long have you been training for? Like how long has it been?
uh, for the Contender Series, I trained for about 3 months. So I found out about 3 months before. So I had a nice training camp leading up to it.
Did you envision getting the knockout or the submission?
I envisioned, you know what? I really did not envision either or. I envisioned me finishing him. I didn't know where it was gonna be, if it was gonna be on the ground or on the feet. But I definitely envisioned finishing him for sure.
When you look for a finish, do you normally want a submission or you just it doesn't
I
really
just go
matter?
wherever the fight takes me. I try not to plan too much because you really can't plan for tomorrow. You just have to prepare as much as possible because you never know what they're gonna throw at you. You know what I'm saying? If you train for kickboxing and then he turns out to be a wrestler and just wrestles you the whole time, then you're screwed because you've been training for stand up the whole time.
Hmm.
So I just train all the arts. I try to train all the arts as much as possible: jiu-jitsu, wrestling, kickboxing.
Right. You mentioned that you were a math teacher. Is it hard to balance both?
At first, it gets a little draining at first, but like anything in life, man, once you do it enough, once you build that routine, it just comes naturally. So going from the school directly to the gym at first is draining, but after a while, it just becomes normal. My body's used to it now, so it's just getting into that groove of things.
Right. Yeah. Outside of like getting a belt, do you have any extra motivation when you fight?
My kids, man, the kids in my school, they're definitely my biggest motivation. Are the kids I work with and the school I work at. I love what I do. I love my job. I love inspiring children.
How long have you been working for like as a teacher?
Um, this is my fourth year now working at the school. I started. See, what were we, 2019? I want to say 2016.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're coming up on 4 years.
Before fighting, did you want to be a teacher or were you kind of
No, actually, I'm an assistant, but I started in the after school program at first. So I started in the after school program because everyone who does mixed martial arts knows that you don't get paid a lot.
right?
When you first starting off, you get paid peanuts.
Right.
So I just needed some extra income, so I just did it for extra income, and then I just fell in love with it. I fell in love with the idea of being able to help people. I love helping people. That's my goal in life. Why else am I here? Why else am I living if it's not to help somebody else? It's not
Right.
if it's not to help somebody else grow. Let me say that.
Definitely. I feel like more people do need to preach that positive message. So it's dope for you to use your platform for that.
Yeah, that's the only way to do it. If I just was in the UFC for my own selfish reasons, I don't think I'd be in the UFC, to be honest. I mean, I would, but it just you think about a lot of fighters who get themselves in trouble. Look at Connor.
Hmm.
He's getting himself in a lot of trouble because he don't have nothing else. You know what I mean? He don't got something else to pour all that 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 platform into. I have something I can pour everything into. I can use this to help my kids and help them realize that we all want them to be successful, not just to pat our pockets or for our resume like a lot of other people do, but I want it because I want them to grow and be successful for them.
That's a dope answer. I definitely respect that. After your fight, is there like a certain like meal you make sure you got to eat or anything like that?
After my fight?
Yeah, after like, cause all the weight's done and you're good.
Oh yeah, I pretty much I love to eat sweet potatoes, man. I don't know. That's like everyone has their energizing food that they eat. Mine is sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes just do me right. All the nutrients I need in my body, and it just gets my brain. It's good brain food. It's a superfood. So,
Yeah, that's a definitely different answer than I expected to get.
yeah, because when I eat, I don't like to eat a lot of meats because it stays in my stomach, and I like to be light.
Yeah.
It takes especially like steak or pork or anything like that. It's hard to digest. So I typically stick to, if I'm gonna eat meat, it's gonna be chicken or eggs. Just stuff that can just digest and break down fast.
I definitely get that. I'm not really a fan of red meat myself. I like steak. You can't go wrong with steak, but
yeah,
chicken's
before a fight, steak's not the way to go though.
Yeah, I bet that would definitely slow you down.
Yeah, it definitely does. It definitely does.
Yeah, I'm definitely I eat chicken and rice like it's my job, man.
Oh man, shit, you should be black.
That's funny. Did you play any other sports other than like mixed
I
martial?
wrestled and played football as well.
Oh, you did play football?
Yeah, I played football as well.
What position did you play?
I played corner. I was corner, and then
Yeah.
I hurt my collarbone, and I just went. I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to stick to wrestling because I was smaller. But in Florida, it's speed, man. It don't matter. It's speed. That's why Tommy Lee, he's only like 160, maybe, and 5'8" in the NFL. Fast as lightning.
How would you describe like your fighting style?
I would describe my fighting style like Picasso, very artistic. I pretty much create things in the moment, situationally. I was at a gym where it was just kind of one style, you know what I mean? And it slowed me down because they didn't want me being like overly athletic and doing, but there's no such thing. Be creative. I can fight. I have like 10 different styles, man. I can fight with my hands down, my hands up. I can fight, and Muay Thai. I have so many different styles. I just fight how I'm feeling and that's why it's an art. It's why it's called martial arts. So my style is very innovative. I like to invent things and create things and mix it up.
I really like that answer. I think the Picasso mixed martial arts is what you called yourself at the post-fight interview. So I kind of
man.
that.
Yeah, man. It's crazy. I've been saying this a lot, but people think I'm joking when I say I'm gonna make it very, very easy. I'm gonna make fighting in the UFC extremely easy.
Yeah. When did you know that you wanted to fight mixed martial arts?
After college, I wrestled a year in college, and then the program got shut down. But after that, I needed something else to do. But I've always had this dream of fighting. I grew up fighting pretty much, man. As my friends and we always get boxing gloves, MMA gloves, and we just fight each other. We put gloves on and just fight. In the parking lot, backyard, you name it. We were fighting.
Yeah, a couple years ago, me and my roommates that I used to live with, we went and got boxing gloves just for fun, and I was gassed out in like 2 minutes, getting tagged up in the living room.
Yeah, it's definitely mental.
Yeah. Was there ever a fighter that like kind of inspired you to become a fighter?
Anderson Silva, for sure. My favorite fighter is Anderson Silva, for sure. He was cold, man. I always followed him, and growing up in Florida, I actually watched Kimbo was a big thing. Kimbo's from Miami, and so that was a huge thing for me growing up in Florida. I was just like, oh, Kimbo. Everyone's talking about Kimbo Slice. So I used to watch him on YouTube all the time when YouTube first was a big sensational thing. And then I went from Kimbo to Rampage Jackson to Anderson Silva.
What part of Florida did you grow up in?
Palm Beach.
Yeah, I live in St. Pete myself, so I know exactly where all these places are.
Oh, nice. So do you know William T. Dwyer High School?
It sounds familiar, like you mentioned it earlier, but not super familiar.
Yeah. Yep. I lived in Palm Beach, and then we moved to Port St. Lucie when I went off to college. now I'm in, you know, when I went to Wisconsin, my mom ended up moving to Fort St. Lucie.
Right. If you could have like a dream fight, who is someone you would want to fight?
Man, I want to fight anybody. I want to fight the best people though. I want to, like, if we're talking about dream fights, I want to fight the champion Henry Cejudo. That's the dream fight. But you know, that's way, like, you know, that's like, you know, I'm just coming into the game. Obviously, I won't happen anytime soon. But it'd be cool to fight. I always say it'd be cool to fight Uriah Faber because I always thought I looked up to him, like, coming up. I thought he was a stud. But now I'm there, and I think I could beat him. But I think I could beat anybody though, not just him. Not, you know. But it'd be cool to fight. I just think it'd be cool to fight someone that I used to look up to. Not just fight. It'd be cool to beat someone I used to look up to.
Right. I have a Twitter account, and people would post like the best prospects of the Contender Series, and I would always comment your name. You were really someone that, like.
Oh, for real? I don't use Twitter. I gotta check that out. I actually don't use Twitter that much. I have a Twitter, but I lack on it. I just share whatever I post on Instagram goes to Twitter. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I messaged you like a month ago, and then I was like, I'm gonna message him on Instagram. I feel like I'll probably get a response there.
Yeah, man. That's what's up. I've never seen. I did see ESPN release something about me being one of the top prospects, and I thought that was cool. I try not to let it get to my head as much. I think it's awesome. But like I said, I try to remain in a state of I'm supposed to be the top prospect. You know what I'm saying? It's not like a cocky or arrogant thing. Mm-hmm. It's a mindset that you have to have in order to be the best.
And I do feel like you're going to go very far in this sport.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And I do appreciate you doing this for me because
no problem, man.
I mean, I'm on the come up.
Yeah, man, no problem. I always tell people that ask for these interviews early on in my career that I'll be willing to give you these interviews later on in my career when I'm bigger, because the ones who reach out now are the ones who dedicate the energy into me, and I'll dedicate my energy later. You know.
Mm-hmm. I'm definitely looking forward to your debut fight, and I'm sure many MMA fans are. And I just want to say thank you. And
no problem, man. No problem. You have a good rest of your day, man.
Yeah, you too, man. Take it easy.
All right, I see you.